So far, there isn't anything about coins he hasn't been able to answer when I ask him here on air. But it's also good to know who you buy your coins from. And you want an expert, someone who's been doing this for 30 years and someone who knows the trade and knows what to look for. In general, what are the most important things to look for when collecting coins?
Well, condition, and condition. I mean, the single most important determining factor of value is condition. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. But then you have rarity, then you have collectability, then you've got desirability. That's all based on theme and finish and all of those other things. Then you have what's called conditional rarity. How rare is it in the highest grade, and all of those other things. And then the historical significance of not only the coin, but then also not only the coin, but also then the theme as well. And that is what this set is right here. And I'm really, really happy to be able to bring you this set. We've been waiting quite some time to be able to do this. And I'm finally going to be able to do a presentation on this. We have a show tonight as well. This entire, you see there's 1,275 of these 4-coin sets. Do not wait. I showed this for a couple minutes the other night in preview. We're already, I think, under 1,000 available sets of this for this, and let me explain to you what it is. The United States government is starting this brand new coin program. The first coin is going to be released actually in a couple of weeks. The Pennsylvania American Innovation Dollar. What the Mint is doing a series of American innovators, American entrepreneurs, American inventions. And they're going to do one for every single state in the union in the order of statehood, starting with Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, and on down the road in the order of statehood. And each state is going to, an American territory is going to get one of those innovation dollars. But they did something fascinating. What they did is last year, they released an inaugural coin for this. They've never done that before. So you're going to have the 56 coins, like the quarters, like the state quarters, like you had the presidential dollars, you had the national parks quarters, but they've never done an inaugural coin before to launch it, to kick it off. And here's the amazing part about that. That was released December the 14th last year, 2 weeks before the end of the year. So these coins are exceptionally rare. The problem is they only released those 3 coins. They released a Philadelphia Minute coin, a Denver Minute coin, and a San Francisco Minute coin. Here's the problem. They didn't release any of them into circulation. These coins weren't in the mint sets. This coin not in the proof set for 2018. It was so late in the year that they weren't able to do that. These are only available not in circulation in bags or rolls, and I think the bags are already sold out. So we had some of those 3-piece sets. Just last week, they released the 4th and final coin to this. Now, here's the interesting thing. I've been doing this a very long time. I've never seen the United States government release a coin in the following year of its date. This coin is dated 2018. It was released 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago. So it was released late by 8 months. I've never seen them do it in all of the years I've been doing this. More importantly, they only made 75,000 and they sold out instantly. So you can't have the complete set without the reverse proof coin, which was sold literally individually. The price on that coin, by the way, has already between tripled and quadrupled, ungraded and uncertified. Good luck out there trying to find this coin for $90 or $100 is the price for this coin. $50 to $80 for this coin. These coins are $30 or $40 a piece. We're $139.95 for the entire 4-coin set. Okay, and that is the entire set. Now, going forward, this is an AutoShip, so you're going to get the Pennsylvania set for $139. Now, keep in mind, they did not put the proof innovation dollars in the proof set this year. They did not put the uncirculated coins in the mint set this year. They're going to do the reverse proof coin, not in its own set, but as an individual coin to be able to do this. None of these coins, this is historic for an American coin set, not a single solitary one of these coins will ever be released into circulation. They are all presentation only, collector only coins, and because of that, the mintages on these are absolutely minuscule. So there's only 75 75,000 possible in any grade sets of this, because there's only 75,000 of this coin. In absolutely perfect first day of issue annex, there's 1,275 coins, which are exclusively available from us here at HSN. Now, that means that you're guaranteed all of the sets going forward. Your price can never go up. Your delivery is 100% guaranteed. And here's the amazing part. When you get your AutoShip, look at the box. We're going to give you the box to hold these in. Check out this box that is going to come with your AutoShip that you're going to have right there. And it is going to fit. That's going to be, because each year there's going to be 4 coins, 16 coins released in here. So this is good for about a year and a half. Then you know what happens? You get another box.
You get another box.
You get a box as long as you need. So you're going to get, so here's the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, and that this will hold then just next year's coin, okay, which is going to be Massachusetts, is going to be right in there. And then you're going to start, and you'll get a new box with your other set of coins, once again, at only $139.95. Now, here's what I can tell you right now. Based on the way that they're doing this with the reverse proof coin, based on this, it is the single rarest by mintage regular issue United States coin set ever done in basically the history of the United States Mint, because it is limited to 75,000. You have to understand, so take a look at the state quarters. The state quarters, I mean, the lowest it could have been was 1 million coins if you collected the silver version of that as well. So this is going to be 10, 12, 13 times rarer than the state quarters, and they are golden dollar coins at $139, and every single one of them. PR 70, absolutely perfect. Reverse proof 70, absolutely perfect. Mint State 67, Mint State 67 is the highest grade that you're able to do this. Understand, we're going to sell out this edition. You need to take advantage of yours now.
So have they announced what's going to be on the coins that haven't been released?
Pennsylvania coin is going to be the polio vaccine. Jonas
Okay,
Salk.
so celebrating Americans' heritage, for innovation, for design, for entrepreneurship. It's going to be a great opportunity for you. So make sure that you lock that in right now. And that's on 3 FlexPay of just $40.